5th March 2022. Morning Murli. Shanti. BapDada. Madhuban. Sweet children, you have received good sense from the Father, and the locks on your intellects have opened. Therefore, it is your duty to give everyone the cooperation of your intellects. Question: what desire is created within you children at the confluence age, which only the Father fulfills? Answer: at the confluence age, you children have the desire to go to heaven. Previously, you never even thought that you would go to heaven. Thus, new desire is created now, and only the Father fulfills it. When this desire is fulfilled, you will not have any more desires. It is sung that nothing is lacking in the treasure store of the deities. Song: at last the day for which we had been waiting has come. Shanti. The day will definitely come for all the devotees. Everyone remembers God. All are Sitas, devotees. All are unhappy. The day eventually comes when God, having been remembered, comes and holds your hand. He is also called the boatman, the master of the garden and the purifier. You children know that you are now holding the hand of the one, and that you have changed from atheist into theist. The Father has given you children his own introduction, and in order to give you the inheritance, he has made you belong to him. You receive an inheritance from the Father. That one is the unlimited Father, the Supreme Father. That is why all the devoted children remember him. However, those devotees do not understand this aspect. They go on pilgrimages and take musical instruments with them. But so much splendor. There is the Kumbh Mela, and they study the Vedas and scriptures. All of that is part of the paraphernalia of the path of devotion. That is why they remember God, so that he will eventually liberate them from his degradation. They continue to call out to him. However, no one knows the Father. It is as though those who do not know the Father are not his children. Because they do not know the Father, they are atheists and have nothing but sorrow. After becoming a child of the Father's, there is constant happiness. The Father is the creator of heaven. Not everyone will go there. Only a limited number will come to claim their inheritance from the Father. Those of all the other religions come to claim the inheritance of liberation. Everyone has to receive it from the Father. The Father says, I now explain easy things to all of you. Simply remember me, your Father. It is this Father who explains that you meet him 5,000 years ago, and that you will continue to meet him every 5,000 years. This is like an old point for you. You lose the kingdom every cycle, and you then attain it. Only you take 84 births. This is the last of your many births. You children understand that you were previously in the ocean of milk, and that you then became trapped in the ocean of poison. There is no ocean of milk or ocean of poison, but you were pure, and then Maya, Ravan, made you impure. So the Father has now come to purify you. It says in the song, at last the day has come. On the path of devotion, you did not have any desire to become the masters of heaven. This aspect was not even in your intellects. Thus Baba used to study and listen to the Gita a great deal. However, he did not have any desire to study Raj Yoga or to change from an ordinary man into Narayan. The Father just suddenly came and entered him. Baba says, I have now come to fulfill your desire for heaven. Now, and still in your intellects, the desire to go to heaven. The Father is the creator of heaven. He sits here and explains everything to you so easily. Yes, lust is the greatest enemy. Even sannyasis say this. This is why They leave their homes and families. But that is a matter of just one or two. Their paths of isolation are fixed in the drama. They too are devotees. They speak of God, the Father, but they don't know who He is. Then they say, chant the name of Radhe and Govinda. Means Krishna is remembered as the cowherd. Whose name should they chant? They have named Krishna Govinda. They have written whatever they heard. Whom should they call Govinda? Only the one father looks after the cows and plays the Murli, means the flute. In fact, it is a question of human cows. Previously, you didn't understand anything. The father has now come and given you good sense. Maya Ravan gives you bad sense and the father gives you good sense. Good sense is from Shivbaba and bad sense is from Ravan. Good sense means Srimad and bad sense means false directions. You now understand the contrast. We were following false directions and we had no desire to go to heaven. The Father has now created a new desire. There is nothing lacking there for which you would have to beat your head. All of you now have a new desire. Although you make effort number wise, the Father gives you number one directions. It is said that person is such that even if Brahma were to come down here, he would not accept Brahma's directions. This is remembered of the end. Your praise will be sung at the end. When you become perfect, your praise will be sung. At present, you continue to climb and fall. 1 minute you dance in happiness, and the next minute you become a corpse. Maya makes you stumble in many different ways. She tangles the thread in one way or another so that you stop following Srimad and follow the dictates of Ravan, and you then continue to cry out in distress. The Father says continue to be cautious at every step. Only by following Srimad you will benefit. The Father has created this desire in you. It is only by following Srimad that you will become like Lakshmi and Narayan. Brahma becomes that, and the same applies to you. Do not forget this aspect. However, Maya is such that she does not give you a chance to take Srimad. She makes you perform wrong actions in one way or another. Having performed a wrong action, you then come and tell Baba, Baba, I performed this action. I did not have time to take any advice from you. What can I do now? If Maya slapped you, what can the Father do? You need to be very cautious about every aspect at every step. Sannyasis would never say that it is possible for a man and woman to live together and remain pure. There are many tactics for this. To call yourselves Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris, it's such a great method. Your children become Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris, and so you must never dishonor the clan. The relationship of brother and sister is never wrong. It is against the law for a brother and sister to marry one another. Here all are brothers and sisters. Those people laugh at the system, saying in that case, where did the system come from? This is a new aspect. No one else can give you such advice. People ask, if you are BKs, do you have to be brothers and sisters? You must make this firm in their intellects, because there is a lock on everyone's intellect. They have stone intellects. You should open the locks on your intellects. There are many centers and they all call themselves Brahma Kumaris and Kumaris, and so they are brothers and sisters. Therefore, they cannot criminally assault anyone. It is impossible. Thus is the new creation of God. Those people say that they have never heard this in the Gita. The Father says, I teach you all of this. Later on, shivbaba will not remain, nor will the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris remain. The knowledge will disappear. You will not be able to hear it. I am now teaching you Raj Yoga. When the kingdom is established, all of this will have punished. It is not mentioned in the scriptures that the Pandavas established a kingdom. The deities were the masters of the pure world, whereas devils belonged to the impure world. How could they fight each other? Would they come from heaven to fight those in hell? Acha, how could there have been a war between the deities and the devils? There must definitely have been a confluence. Would they bring their own armies and fight each other? No kind of calculation of this can be made. There are no deities where there are devils, and there are no devils where there are deities. So, how could there be a war? There cannot be a war between the Kauravas and the Pandavas either. How could those who are following Srimad battle with anyone? It is human beings who make each other fight. The Father cannot give you permission to fight or to gamble. The Pandavas are not such fools that they gamble and also fight among themselves. Baba has explained that this is the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. Innocent ones are assaulted a great deal. They are distressed so much because of vice. Tell them God has explained that lust is the greatest enemy. By conquering it, you will go to heaven. When you explain in this way, many become victorious. Then they call goddess and are worshipped. They even receive a lot of help. People become afraid when they hear that husband and wife have to live together and remain pure. They think it's impossible. They say that there must be some magic here. They tell others never go to such a spiritual gathering. In the beginning, the daughters came running, and so that reputation was created. The bhakti was created, and so they had to come running here. Those who are in bondage receive a lot of advice. You need a lot of courage in this. Those who are poor would think nothing matters. Why should we lose the kingdom of heaven because of this? Even if they throw me out of this house, I will go and wash dishes or sweep floors. Those who are from wealthy homes cannot leave everything in this way. In the beginning, it was in the children's part. This is very easy for those who are poor. Baba says if you come to Baba, you will first have to sweep the floor and do everything. Storms of Maya will come with a great force. You will remember your children too. Therefore, you must be very cautious. When you become conquerors of attachment, that is then something. Shivbaba has to give you directions. You have received knowledge. It does not matter what type of clothes you wear. The Father sits you in his eyes and takes you to heaven. The bride follows the bridegroom, and they have an oil lamp lit in a clay pot. The Father comes to make everyone beautiful and take them home. Everyone will be become pure. There is a burden of sin on everyone's head. So you have to settle your accounts and return home at the end. You are making so much effort to stay in remembrance. Those who do not make effort will not go into liberation just like that. At the time of settlement, they will have to experience a lot of punishment, and they will then return to the land of liberation. The original religion of souls is peace. We sit here in a bodiless state. We do not do anything with these physical organs. We just sit in silence. But for how long? Eventually, you have to perform actions. Sages and holy men do not know that the original religion of souls is peace. Sannyasis go to search for peace, whereas Baba says peace is the garland around your neck. So why should we go into a forest? We are karma yogis. Baba says, remember me and your sins will be absolved. Then also remember heaven. The chaos of devotion has been distressing you for 63 births. You are now being liberated from all of that upheaval. Baba gives you the direction to become bodiless, because you now have to go back with me, and I will then send you to heaven. There is no question of upheaval in this. On the path of devotion, you stumble a great deal. You will have to stumble once again. Everyone has to become Tamapradhan while taking rebirth. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says, Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, be very cautious at every step. Do not become confused when following Srimad. Never dishonor the clan. Second point, in order to go back with the Father, settle all your karmic accounts, make full effort to become bodiless. Blessing, may you be an equal companion and by experiencing being close to the Father, be victorious even in your dreams. Explanation, on the path of devotion, in order to be close to God, they give importance to spiritual company. Only those who are equal are able to stay in His company, that is, stay close to Him. Those who are constantly with Him, even in their thoughts, are victorious to the extent that Maya cannot attack them, not just in their thoughts, but even in their dreams. They are constantly conquerors of Maya, that is, they constantly stay in the Father's close company. No one would have the power to separate them from the Father's company. Slogan, to stay constantly free from obstacles and make everyone free from obstacles is to do real service. Om Shanti. Invaluable jewels of knowledge from Dadi's old diaries. Be stable in your faith and create the destiny of the previous kalpa. It should not be that you have faith according to whatever is fixed. Something it is fixed for them not to have this knowledge in their fortune. But no, you definitely have to have the faith that it is fixed in your fortune. You have to make effort to create your own reward because everything is already fixed according to the unlimited film. But through our effort, we have to create that destiny that is fixed. The destiny will be fixed when we become the master of that destiny and create it again. Do not think about the fixed destiny in advance and come to a standstill, but consider the reward you are able to create through your effort to be real reward. This is knowledge, but to think everything is fixed and to stop making effort is to be ignorant. Acha. Om Shanti.